Welcome to Facts and Firearms. My name is Massad Ayoob, and I'll be your host. Tradition demands that I invite you to hit the like button and to subscribe and to ring the bell if you like for a notification for future content. As a firearms instructor for many years standing now, one of the questions I always get is, what's the secret to carrying an NPE, the Non-Permissive Environment? How can I get me and my gun into a gun-free zone? My first answer has to be, why the hell would you want to? When I was a kid, my mother told me, son, do not go places where you are not wanted. They put up a sign that says, in essence, your kind, people with your values, are not welcome here. I should respond to that by going inside and doing business with them and giving them money. You don't reward bad behavior. Now, a whole lot of folks I know have said, well, I won't go in there, but I'll damn sure give them a piece of my mind and tell them why I'm not spending my money in there. And that's fine. I agree with our friend Tam Keel, a writer who I greatly admire. She says, look, I carry my wallet in the same pants that I carry my gun. At the same time, you don't want to be standing at the door of the establishment yelling at the manager, this is a place that does not respect freedom, because you look, frankly, like a nutcase, and you don't make Second Amendment advocates look good doing it that way. Send them a politely worded letter. Or, go on Yelp or wherever and give them a negative review. Not, this place sucks, but I'm sad to see a place that does not respect a citizen's rights to protect themselves. Or simply walk away and spend your money elsewhere. Now, there are different types of NPEs. There's the hard NPE and the soft NPE. The hard NPE would be a jurisdiction where it is a crime for you to enter there with a gun. And if you're caught doing it, you can be arrested and you can be convicted of a gun-related crime. And that whatever's in that building, whatever's in that establishment is probably not worth that. The so-called soft NPEs are the many jurisdictions where you're not going to be arrested per se when someone saw your gun printing under your coat. But you'll be asked to leave, and if you don't leave, then you can be arrested for trespass after warning. If you find yourself in such a place and you're asked to leave, do so, and do it politely. Don't say anything or do anything or even show a facial expression that someone later looking at a security camera could say that person was hostile, that person was combative, that person was dangerous. To avoid printing and being spotted, the old saying, concealed means concealed, don't be the guy who carries a full-size pistol under a one-size-too-tight muscle t-shirt. And those of us walking by can practically read the brand on the grip of the gun. What you might want to consider is if you work in one of the many places we have now, where there's no law per se against you carrying a gun, let's say in the workplace. But the company policy is you'll be fired for doing so. Well, if you are fired for doing so, bear in mind when your next prospective employer calls for a reference, that prospective employer is going to be told, oh yeah, so-and-so, well, he only obeys the rules he likes to obey. And that's not going to be helpful getting you the next job. You might want to consider extremely discreet carry, perhaps a smaller gun than what you would prefer. Among the various options, appendix carry, particularly assuming the workplace allows a closed front garment that's usually untucked to conceal the gun. Before appendix carry became popular, there was the belly band. About a 4-inch wide strip of elastic that wraps around the waist with a gun pouch. It allows a tucked-in shirt. I wore mine, usually with a 2-inch barrel, small frame 38. in essentially a front cross-draw position here. The necktie would cover the fact that I had unbuttoned the second button above the belt. It allowed immediate access. Back in those days, remember, that's where IPSC competitors carried their pistols for a quick access when the start signal went off. If someone patted you down, they would often think they had hit the belt buckle by mistake. And it was very, very quick. It allowed a surreptitious draw, the body going into a submissive posture of body language, and the hand was already on the gun. The ankle holster for some. Bear in mind, though, if you work at a desk, when you sit down, the pants cuffs come up, and the ankle holster might become visible. Another option is off-body carry, the gun carried in the briefcase, in a fanny pack if dress code at the office allows it, etc. First, that allows you to quickly, discreetly take it on and off and lock it in the car if you choose not to be armed. And frankly, gun people say, ooh, that's a giveaway that you're carrying a gun. Walk around Disneyland sometime and count the fanny packs in that gun-free zone where everybody goes through a metal detector. They're actually coming back into style. I'd recommend our friend Vicki Farnham's book. She's, if not an advocate of off-body carry, has probably studied it and taught it more deeply than anyone else. And you and many members of your family and your circle of friends will find very useful knowledge herein. The Enigma holster is probably, from Filster, is probably the highest evolution of the belly band. And many people have found that that allows them to carry completely concealed a bigger gun than they thought they could. The bottom line and the best advice I can leave you with, I avoid gun-free zones. Okay, when I see that sign, gun-free zone, I flash back to the fact that the vast majority of mass murders have taken place in such zones. And some of the mass murderers, when they survived, admitted that they chose that zone because they knew they would not face armed resistance. I see a sign that says gun-free zone. I see a sign that says hunting preserve for psychopathic murderers. I understand your reluctance to enter one. I hope you'll join me in avoiding them. If you can't avoid them, be discreet. You don't want to get arrested for exercising your Second Amendment rights. We'll see you down the road with hopefully more content and valuable content here at Facts and Firearms.